What is going on, YouTube? Welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a bit different from my usual content. We're not going to talk about workouts or diets today. Instead, I want to discuss something a bit different. Yeah, if you've seen the title, you probably guessed it. I'm going to share my curiosity about steroids. Actually, the title was kind of clickbait. I guess the real title should be The 3 Reasons Why I Don't Use Steroids. If you feel deceived, I apologize. Anyway, I want to share my very honest and unbiased opinion on steroid through this video, and I hope you find it interesting to watch. The first reason, it's a big one. I can't afford steroids. I mean, I don't have enough money for it. Honestly, I don't get how so many people can use steroids without worrying about the cost, especially teenagers. I mean, I don't even know exactly how much steroids or SARMs cost. Maybe buying steroids isn't that expensive, like around $70 a month, but I'm already spending a lot on my gym membership and supplements like creatine. Fitness is super important to me, but I don't want to spend even more money on it. Every time I check my bank account, I get a headache. I don't want to add to my monthly expenses by buying steroids. So when I see teenagers or young college students using steroids, I wonder where they're getting the money. Sure, if you have a part-time job, you might be able to afford it, but aren't there other things you need to spend money on? At this point, one of you might be thinking, you're just broke. If you budgeted better, using steroids wouldn't be that big of a financial burden. And yeah, you might be right. Maybe I'm just on the brink of bankruptcy or terrible at saving money. But what really baffles me is how people can afford the care costs for monitoring their health. I feel like this should cost way more than the drugs themselves. In Korea, where I was born, we have health insurance, so medical expenses aren't too bad. But depending on the treatment, it might or might not be covered. And I don't think the health issues from steroid use would be covered. So you'd end up paying a lot. But in countries without such insurance or with higher medical costs, how do people afford medical support for this? Or is there a way to monitor your health at home? Is there an app for that? If I'm missing something, let me know. I'm seriously curious, not being sarcastic. And the second reason, I'm not diligent enough to use steroids properly. I'm already the kind of person who finds it a hassle to take creatine with my first meal after a workout and count calories. If I had to take drugs before and after workouts and adjust my daily routine to manage drug use, there's no way I'd be able to do it. Another big issue for me is when I have to travel. It's annoying enough to pack creatine and vitamins into small containers, because carrying them in my bag feels like I'm smuggling drugs. And I even forget to take them pretty often, so I don't even stick to the recommended dosage while traveling. People often think those who use drugs are lazy and don't want to work out, but I think it's the opposite. Those people are super diligent and dedicated. You can't use these drugs properly without being that way. I can't even imagine myself paying close attention to drug use throughout the day. So yeah, if a lazy person like me tried to use PDs, it would be a disaster. That's why I think not using steroids is the right choice for me. That's probably why I've practiced intermittent fasting for years to stay lean. It helps save on food expenses since you eat less, and it's not that complicated, just eating within an eating window every day, because I can't handle having too many things to keep up with. And the last but not least, I'm really scared of using steroids. First off, I'm terrified of needles, even at 25. But after hearing about the side effects of steroids through YouTube, I knew I could never use them. Of course, I want to get bigger and look strong. When I see all these ripped people on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube, I do wonder what it would be like to use steroids. But that temptation has never been stronger than my concern for my health. I respect people who decide to use steroids because becoming a pro or building their body is super important to them. Sometimes I even admire their commitment to their goals despite the risks. But I've never wanted to go pro, and building my body has never been as important as my health. the possibility of losing sexual function or having heart problems is enough reason for me to stay away from steroids. And as time goes by, I'm realizing there are way more important things than building a body. My relationships with my family have deepened, and after meeting someone really special, I just want to be around these people for as long as possible. To do that, I need to stay healthy, not shortening the time I have for the life. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that people who use drugs care less about their family or loved ones. I respect their choice if they considered enough about using it and what they lose. But if anyone watching this is considering using drugs, remember that you're important to someone and they want to spend as much time with you as possible. When I was a teenager, smartphones had just started to become popular. And I didn't grow up watching fitness influencers with perfect bodies on social media. So, the temptation of using drugs might not have been as strong for me. But I completely understand how that temptation could be much stronger for younger people today. When I think about the foolish things I did as a teenager, I'm pretty sure that I would have ended up using a truckload of tren if I were born in this generation. I'm not someone who can offer advice, and I still have a lot to learn myself. However, I gathered the courage to share my honest opinion and decided to make this video. So what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. I'm really curious to hear your thoughts. Hope you enjoyed this video, and if you want to check out my new videos and stay in touch with me, please follow my channel. Alright, that's it for today. See you.